Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button. Today what we're going to go over is the white paper, and we've done a reading of the white paper, opined about the white paper, but today what we're going to talk about is we're just going to go over a couple of parts of the white paper that I think have been kind of jumping out at me lately and have been a topic of conversation within the community. The best place to download the white paper is at centric.com/whitepaper. You can go to centric.com, click on the Learn tab, and click on White Paper. There are a number of languages that the white paper are written in. But let's go ahead and start with the following. We believe financial freedom for the next generation can be stable, reliable, trusted, and untethered from existing assets. It's our vision to be globally accepted as transactional money, and money that only goes up in purchasing power. This is the focus of Centric. Think for a second, what would it be like if, with inflation on the rise like it is right now, that you had a money that keeps pace with inflation or even eclipses it? That would be great. Centric is that money, and that's what it's working toward being. A deflationary supply and an inflationary price, a price that goes up every single hour. We're going to start off right there. And what I'd like to review are certain aspects of Centric protocol as reflected in the white paper. And we're going to start with the greatest obstacle. We believe the largest obstacle to the mass adoption of cryptocurrencies is price volatility. Cryptocurrencies, unlike fiat currencies, do not have a central bank to implement monetary policy focused on stabilizing purchasing power. At Centric, what we're doing is we're working to eventually stabilize purchasing power, but then build in a purchasing power that only goes up. Credit and debt markets will more readily form if and when a project can develop a truly stable cryptocurrency, one that isn't subject to manipulation or price swings. That's one of the greatest concerns with the markets accepting cryptocurrency as a transactional money or as a medium of exchange. Granted, cryptocurrency payment gateways have been used as a way to kind of bridge the gap, as well as traditional stablecoins. But what Centric is working to do is to create a stable that is totally untethered from the existing assets and the existing models, and also provide that purchasing power that only goes up. In the white paper, the project introduced Centric Rise, a cryptocurrency with low volatility and predictable returns. And we remember that Centric Rise CNR is not designed to be traded. It's the flagship of the Centric Network. It yields more CNS every single hour. Eventually, it's going to reach consensus or protocol consensus when CNS, the freely traded token, stabilizes at or near $1. And to track what CNR is paying right now, because it's yielding more CNS every hour, one can visit centric.com/metrics and view the price blocks, key metrics. You can also go to the Explorer. Our blockchain Explorer is at explorer.centric.com. CNS is measured by the market, and it's tracked on coinmarketcap.com, coingecko.com, and a number of other places. It's our traded token, our freely traded token, and it's also the onboard offboard token to the Centric economy, and it's the point where most users access Centric Rise CNR. Most users come into the network after they've acquired CNS from one of the trusted exchanges or DEXs that carry CNS, and then they convert to Centric Rise CNR either using the native Centric wallet at wallet.centric.com or the exterior tool bsc.centricswap.com, or you can put in centricswap.com and it'll take you right there. Those are the only two places we recommend converting to CNR. If you go to any other location to try to convert to CNR or trade for CNR, you're going to be prone to slippage. So keep that in mind. Again, the only two places we ever recommend people convert their Centric tokens to Centric Rise CNR is either inside the native wallet or at bsc.centricswap.com. The immutable price blocks of Centric Rise, how are they determined? How are they calculated? Members of the team act as economy experts, initially acting as oracles. This is right from the white paper. Oracles to the blockchain, transparently setting the price of CNR up to a year in advance. It's as though Centric has implemented a transparent central bank with predictable price growth. Again, in this age of Web3, where projects are basically, in a sense, creating their own currencies, Centric has developed basically a format for stabilizing cryptocurrency. And we're in the adoption phase right now. Granted, there is volatility. And what's going to happen at the end of the day is we believe that Centric Swap CNS is going to eventually stabilize. It's programmed to do that. And what's going to happen is when market demand fully values Centric Swap at $1, the full value of Centric Rise CNR in network will be valued as well. And then those layer 2+ utilities will be unlocked. Centric Rise CNR is not a fully free traded token, and it does not meet the standard definition of a stable coin either. Remember, traditional stable coins are backed by dollars or dollar equivalents. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Centric Rise CNR sits outside of that. It receives its unlimited liquidity from Centric Swap CNS, the traded token. Number one, it's not designed to be traded. Number two, it provides consistent hourly growth. And number three, it's untethered from existing assets like gold, silver, and the US dollar. It's a truly free synthetic stable cryptocurrency, one that we believe will prove itself to be everything this white paper, again referencing the Centric Whitepaper, centric.com/whitepaper, explains once Centric enters the sustainable or stability phase. Again, we're in the adoption phase right now. And what is that? I'll read through it. This again is taken right from the Centric Whitepaper. This is the adoption phase. During the adoption phase, economy experts on the team will act as oracles, setting the price of Centric Rise up to a year in advance. We already know what the price of CNR will be this time next year. Again, if you go to centric.com/metrics, scroll to the bottom, you can go all the way out to this time next year. And you can track it in our Blockchain Explorer. These immutable price blocks provide a very attractive APY for early adopters. During this period of time, Centric is building trust and predictability within the network. What about Centric Rise's sister token CNS? Though designed to eventually stabilize at $1 USD, Centric Swap CNS is freely traded and valued by the market. Once the markets value CNS at $1, the project will move into protocol consensus in the second phase of Centric. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to include the video on protocol consensus in the description notes so you have that. And basically, in a nutshell, what that means is that the market has valued CNS at $1. Therefore, the full value of Centric Rise is being realized at that point, as well as those layer 2+ utilities. The sustainable or stability phase. Once the network utility of Centric Rise is fully realized, it will enter the sustainable growth phase, where the base monthly nominal rate of return will be 0.333 into infinity % per month, or approximately 4% a year, or 4% annum, compounding monthly. And understand, right now we're in the adoption phase. We've got double-digit yield rate months, okay? What's going to happen is, and this gets back to the token burning, or the burning of CNR, the CNR that's being held in quarantine. Sometimes we get this question where people ask, well, the APY is super high. How can CNR continue to have yields that high? Short answer is it can't, okay? The other question we get is, isn't it just going to burn out because it's burning hourly? Basically, what's going to happen when we enter this sustainable phase or the stability phase, the growth rate of Centric Rise CNR is going to slow way down. And what else is going to slow way down? The hourly burn. Okay, so both of those are going to slow way down when we hit the sustainable phase. The base rate will then be subject to to the built-in deflationary mechanisms of the Centric system. We will delve further into this in future white papers. And again, this is embedded right in the Centric white paper, that there will be future white papers highlighting the future of Centric and the network. The third phase that's highlighted in the Centric white paper is the utility phase. The utility phase. When Centric has gained the trust of online buyers and sellers, it'll transition to a viable alternative to fiat currencies. Centric will compete with existing transactional currencies, offering censorship resistance, price discovery, tiny fees, fast international transactions, plus the additional benefits of a public blockchain ledger. And again, that's also in the future of Centric as well, the native blockchain. The coolest thing about this is that, this is not in the white paper, I put this. The coolest thing about this is that Centric is already gaining the trust of a growing number of buyers, sellers, and holders in the marketplace. So the follow-up question is there a market for Centric? Centric Rise is designed for everyone who wants to use a cryptocurrency that has a clear future value and is non-speculative. Again, that gets into the DNA of Centric Rise CNR. That's why it's not traded. Initial early adopters from all backgrounds that are looking for alternatives to fiat currency, as well as alternatives to the speculative and volatile cryptocurrencies. The design of Centric Rise is for mass adoption, ease of use, and multiple applications. The Centric team is creating partnerships, apps and dApps, and utilities that will increase adoption, exchange volume, and utility of the token over time. Let me read that again. The Centric team is creating partnerships, apps and dApps, and utilities that will increase adoption, exchange volume, and utility of the token over time. Through these apps and partnerships, the market will increase organically through the use of the token on multiple services. Centric Rise is a cryptocurrency built on an entirely new economic model designed with two major advantages over other cryptocurrencies. First, the value is designed to increase hourly. Second, an ecosystem of apps, dApps, and other services has been architectured to provide utility and demand. This aspect of Centric continues to grow organically. And this follow-up question is very interesting, but just to understand, those are the three phases of Centric. We're in the adoption phase right now. This is the first phase of Centric, or the first chapter. And during this period of time, early adopters are enjoying a very high yield rate with Centric Rise. What's going to happen when we enter that sustainability phase, or the stability phase, is that the growth rate of Centric Rise is going to slow way down. So will the hourly burn to about 4% a year. It'll be right around that. And then eventually we'll enter the utility phase. And that's when all kinds of amazing things are going to happen in the network that we just talked about. And again, you can read and reread that section of the white paper, again, at centric.com/whitepaper. So why does price stability matter? Cryptocurrencies are rarely relied on for everyday transactions, possibly because they have, so far, been expensive, slow, and cumbersome to manage. Again, cryptocurrency payment gateways, we've been talking about those for a while. Centric itself is integrated with 3 of them. People have been transacting with cryptocurrency for a number of years now, and it's becoming more and more popular. In fact, I mentioned this on a program I was on a couple weeks ago. Brandescent's market research, this is back on February 15th of 2022, they put out a finding that according to their projections, the forecast is that the growth of cryptocurrency payment gateways, or usage of crypto payment customers and businesses that are willing to accept crypto, that whole market's going to grow by 22.8% a year for the next 5 years. That's huge. What I take away from that is that businesses that are not already attracting crypto customers, or customers that want to pay in crypto, they're really going to be missing out or falling behind their competitors. And the wonderful thing about these crypto payment gateways is that it gives the vendors or the merchants, the businesses, an option. They can either hold the cryptocurrencies, or they can go right into their traditional currency, whatever it is, whatever their local currency is, whether it's the dollar, the euro, the ruble, what have you. And understanding that that's the landscape. There's going to be more adoption of cryptocurrency in the coming years, not less. But we're going to hold off right there. I'm going to get into some additional ideas in future videos, but I wanted to kind of hold on that right now regarding the Centric Whitepaper. What is Centric Rise CNR? What is the Centric protocol trying to do? What phase are we in right now? We're in the adoption phase. And the protocol is moving toward protocol consensus when CNS reaches $1. And we're not stopping though. We're going to continue to develop. Our team is continuously deployed in the marketplace, making connections, developing partnerships. With that, stay connected with us across social media. We're super involved on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, although we do have a footprint on the other platforms. And always remember that Centric is burning tokens every hour until CNS reaches $1. Take care.